Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Sarah. I might have seen some of you around. I lead the developer experience team for the Filecoin virtual machine. How many of you have heard of the Filecoin virtual machine? Come on, should be everyone, right, at this point? Yeah, okay, great. So yeah, a little bit about me. I'm from Singapore as well. I'm now based in the US. I used to also do developer relations for the Asia region, so definitely feel very strongly for this region and the potential that it has with all the developers here. Huge advocate for the region. So very excited to be back in Singapore and speaking to all of you. You might be wondering what the Filecoin virtual machine team is doing at DSPA. We have also participated in the previous SP conference, I think a few months ago in around Vegas, and we're going to be participating in the one happening in Vegas again. We are getting closer and closer to the SP community because we want to see what, now that we have programmability on the Filecoin protocol with FVM, it will allow you to build a lot of different kinds of dApps with Filecoin, right? DeFi, services, automation for SPs, there's a lot of opportunities there, and we are in the process of gathering feedback on the use cases or what it is that you want to build with FVM so that we can go improve it and then you can use it. So come talk to myself or Long Fei, who's giving a talk right after me. Raise your hand, Long Fei. Long Fei's right there. Some of you will know him. Come talk to us and let us know what it is that you want to build with FVM so that we can start the conversation there. Cool. So in today's talk, I'll give a quick overview of where we are progressing today with FVM. I'm going to assume most of us already know what FVM is and does, kind of to give you a look back on everything that we have shipped on the developer side of things in the past few months since we launched back in March this year. It feels like it's been a year, but it's only been a few months. And a few things that are coming up in our roadmap next. Okay, yeah, we know the FVM project delivers on-chain programmability. Just a quick TLDR in case you are a little bit new to FVM. And this is the part where we are bringing compute to the data. You know, we've been storing it, working with the SPs very closely. Now we are going to start building on top of it. Okay, just a little bit more. Yeah, a quick, if you look at not so much around the Filecoin stack, I'm sure we're all very familiar with that. Lighthouse.storage is also going to be around. They are a huge one that we're working with to get storage, like data uploading with FVM onto Filecoin. So definitely do check them out and talk to them as well. We're also working with the Saturn team and the IPC team to see how the FVM story together with these products can enable better building of dApps. So yeah, a lot of these projects that you should be checking out that we are working very closely with. And a quick summary. Does everyone here know how FVM works? If not, I won't get into this. Everyone's good? No questions on how FVM works? All good? Okay, I'm going to move on. But if you want, these are posted on our developer resources, which I will put at the end. Just a quick diagram if you want to share with your partners or your community on how FVM works. Super easy resources in there that you can use. We also have a workshop guide, like a workshop resource kit, if you want to use it, to then share with your community on how the Filecoin stack works, how FVM works, and get people interested to be a part of the ecosystem. So I'll share a QR code at the end. Definitely check this out. You can use all the slides that we have for your own presentations as well. Okay, so I won't get too much into this. I'm sure we all know. So let me get straight to the roadmap. So in so we launched in March 2023, earlier this year. Right before that, we had a fully feature-complete FVM Ethereum JSON RPC API that we shipped. This was around the time of, right before we were running a big hackathon during this time, right before we launched. We tested out Filecoin.solidity library. So if you haven't heard of that, that is a library that allows you to run to build with EVM compatible tools. So if you're building an EVM smart contract, you can use the Filecoin.solidity library to easily call the methods and the storage primitives that are on the Filecoin protocol. So if you want to work with a market actor, you want to call certain functions there, you can use the Filecoin.solidity library. You can find it within our repos, and we also have it in our documentation. So you can definitely check that out. There is a version 2 that is shipping in, I think, 1 or 2 months. So it has progressed a lot since then. And right before that, we also shipped our first version, which is a proof of concept using the FVM and using a smart contract to initiate a storage deal on the Filecoin protocol. Again, this is a proof of concept. There are a lot of UX that we still need to improve on, both on the SP side and on the developer side. But it is possible today to initiate a storage deal from a smart contract. And then we also launched the FVM Hardhat Starter Kit to prove that you can use Hardhat and Foundry to build on Filecoin. And then in March, we had our FVM mainnet launch. The thing that we launched was the Ethereum compatible version of the FVM. We do look forward to more versions and more compatible versions of the FVM because the FVM was built to be a polyglot virtual machine. So today it is compatible with Ethereum. We are looking to support other chains as well. It also depends on what developers are interested in. So if you want to influence a certain chain for us to support earlier on, definitely come talk to us so we know what the needs of developers are. So we launched the FVM Ethereum compatible version in March. We have a lot of partners that have come in. If you're using Axeler, Sealer, we have all these ready for you to use as DeFi partners. Exchange support has also improved. I heard Coinbase is going to support transactions with the F4 address pretty soon. And we also have Kraken that is already working as of today. And we also shipped RepFill that you can use. That was shipped by Glyph team, so they are around today as well. So with the help of a lot of partners, we shipped a lot of capabilities in March, and the partner integrations keep growing. So we have Oracle support now from Telor, and we also have some DEXs that are coming in, like SushiSwap is going to come in pretty soon. Uniswap is also in the process of being approved. I think the voting is happening right now. So we have a lot more integrations coming in to the FVM ecosystem. In May, we have shipped about 30 plus projects, and I'm bringing this up because it is proof that you can build sustainable projects that can then launch onto mainnet. Out of these 30 plus projects, we've had about 20 plus of them go on to be accepted by accelerators. So even in some of them were actually focused on SP services. So if you are an SP dApp developer and you think that you want to build a sustainable business, there is a good market fit there, we have accelerator partners that would be interested to take you on too. So definitely think about that. That is also part of the builders funnel that Jangs has been talking about earlier on. So yeah, come join the building ecosystem. Just because you're on the SP side doesn't mean you can't join the developer side of things too. So super interested to see more of that. And then coming into June and July, there are a lot of programmatic storage features that we have launched with FVM. We have shipped a new concept which is called Proof of Data Segment Inclusion. We call it POTSI. Anyone here heard of POTSI before? Okay, great. Thank you, fellow Protocol Labs people. But if you are not in Protocol Labs, POTSI refers to basically what this sentence describes. What it means is that, as SPs, you know that there is a minimum file size that will make you attracted to accept a storage deal, right? Because if it's too small, why? So, but from the client side of things, this makes it easier for them to submit data of any size, and we work through an aggregation standard that will allow them to aggregate all these small data pieces together into a larger bundle and then represent that as a deal proposal out to the SPs on the network. So as SPs, you'll still see it as a good file size to work with, but from the client side, they'll be uploading all this small data, and POTSI refers to the ability to be able to know where your small piece of data is sitting within a deal at all times. So you'll be calling to an API endpoint and you'll get back proof that your small piece of data is being stored in a larger data deal, storage deal on the network. So that is POTSI that has been shipped. Along with POTSI, I didn't mention it in this slide over here, but we have also very recently, just 2 weeks ago, shipped RAS. So RAS is RAAS. The R stands for 3 different kinds of Rs. Don't ask me about the name, but the 3 different kinds of Rs refer to replication, repair, and renewal. So it refers to replication, repair, and renewal as a service. So what that means is that it would be able to track whether your deals that are made on the network are reaching expiry date, or it has not fulfilled X number of replicas that you have requested. Right, and if it hasn't fulfilled that condition, a smart contract will then go on the back end to notify either your aggregator or to notify your smart contract to then go repropose that deal out to SPs to remake that deal or replicate that deal or repair that deal. So there is a whole resource kit on this, but this is some new capabilities that we have shipped with FVM on the programmatic storage side of things. If any of you are part of the Miner X program, that is a program that we are currently running with the FVM product team to work with SPs who are interested to experiment with these new features. So if you want to get on that program, definitely do come talk to me after this. you do get some kind of compensation for being part of these experiments. Also, you will be testing out bleeding edge new features that we are shipping from FVM that SPs will eventually use on mainnet. So definitely come talk to us. We've also shipped 5 block explorers, and our block explorers continue to improve a lot more, so the ecosystem is definitely getting more and more robust. I'm very excited there. And we've launched about 10 plus staking pools on Filecoin today. As of August, we have about 2.9 million fill in contract balance, which is great. Honestly, amazing. And I think there was a latest number that I haven't updated in this slide yet, but I don't want to misquote. But it's definitely been increasing. And we have about 1.7K unique contracts deployed as of today, and 3,200 overall. So as you can see, the smart contract developer space on Filecoin is growing pretty quickly. We have a growing community of builders. We would love to have SPs be a part of that and also be comfortable, because I know that, talking to a few SPs, sometimes they're like, what are these new smart contract messages that are coming in? Are these things that I want to accept? I'm sure there's a lot of things to figure out there. So we want to work together with SPs to start that conversation and make sure that you feel assured and confident to accept these messages that are coming from smart contracts, as well as to become part of that whole builder community. So yeah, a lot of things coming up. That was a lot that I just went through. So that's all that's happened, very recently until this month in September. In Q3, so this is where I mentioned it, RES. So RES has just been shipped. We are also now working on some foundational changes on the FVM at the protocol level to enable WASM actors to be shipped early next year. So once we ship WASM actors, you will be able to use different frameworks that can work, not just Solidity itself, but you can use like Go, you can use assembly script, you can use different kinds of frameworks that you're more comfortable with to then write all these WASM native actors with FVM. And then in Q4, we are shipping version 2 of the Filecoin Solidity library, and we are also, I talked about aggregation standards earlier on. Remember, I talked about the POTSI piece under June. So POTSI works with aggregators. Currently, we are working with centralized aggregators. So SPs will see centralized aggregators like Lighthouse.storage that are compiling all this data together. But we are also looking at another kind of specification standard, which will allow you to do decentralized aggregation. So working through a smart contract that will then, your client will submit your data, the CIDs will go to the smart contract will aggregate the data for you, and then propose, as a client contract, propose that deal proposal to the SPs. So we're also working on that coming up, and we do need to get SP feedback on that before we actually do ship it. So yes, very, very important to have SPs in that conversation. And lastly, we are looking at starting the conversation on SP Dev services. So if you are going to be joining Phil Dev Summit that is happening tomorrow until Thursday, Longfei and myself will be running the Thursday track. At the Thursday track, we have developer discussions around dApps. This is a new format that we're experimenting. I know Protocol Labs is open source, but I also know on Slack it's very hard to get feedback, and sometimes you are like, what is the latest discussion? I don't want to just come in with an idea. Come meet us in person. That's where we're going to be running these sessions in Singapore, in Iceland for Phil Dev Summit, in ETH New York coming up as well, Phil Vegas at the SP event there, as well as in Istanbul. And we'll be opening up these sessions where we'll sit in a circle. Everybody must contribute. We will contribute. You will contribute. But it will all be tracked into a GitHub discussion that eventually goes up to our product and engineering team. So yeah, scan the QR code. That will be, I think, where you can add your questions. Come see us on Thursday at Phil Dev Summit and come be part of that conversation. We will also have protocol developers, other engineers in that conversation too. You should definitely come by and give your feedback there. Yeah. So coming into Q1, we will be bringing in user-defined native actors with WASM. We'll be scaling Filecoin with IPC and FVM. I know IPC is still pretty new, and we are figuring that out for the rest of the year on what the narrative between IPC and FVM will look like to be able to scale the usage of your dApps, improve the UX of your dApps, make transaction speeds faster. All these things, we should look forward to them in early Q1 next year. Yeah. Okay, so that was a mouthful on the roadmap. So before I end my talk, I just want to give an inspiration for what it is that SP dApps can actually look like, right? So you might be thinking, oh my gosh, I have to deal with so many things in the SP ecosystem. Why would I spend time to build dApps? There is a lot of automation that you can think about that these smart contracts can take on. A very, very good example is SPEX over here. If you haven't checked them out yet, you definitely should. They are building an exchange, kind of like a portal for SPs. Some of the value propositions that they offer by using smart contracts within their platform is that they allow for faster rewards being unlocked to SPs. I think they also maybe they run a staking pool on the back end. I'm not super clear on that, but they allow your rewards to be unlocked faster than 180 days. It also allows smart contracts to take on some of the operations of the SPs, so that should optimize a lot of your operation runtime, operation efforts, and just making things more streamlined and a little bit more cost efficient. So definitely do check them out. I think that generally in the space of changing your owner address to be a smart contract address and letting that smart contract take on the operations of an SP is the space where I think the SP dApps can really provide a lot of value to SPs. And we really want to know how we can build that space up and make the whole SP ecosystem more efficient. So yes, that is the direction that we are looking at right now. And if you have ideas in that space, come talk to us, help to influence how this is going to be built. Okay, so that's mostly it for my talk. And then last of all, these are the resources. I know the QR code is kind of small to scan from your seat, but we are around and we will be at PhilDev Summit tomorrow onwards, so come talk to us.